In African religious belief, there are two parallel worlds: the world of the living, in which human beings exist, and the world of the spirits and divinities, which exists in a different sphere. We, human beings, cannot visit the other world except in dreams or when we die. However, spirits, ancestors, and divinities move freely between the two worlds. When they visit the earth, we cannot ordinarily see them through our own eyes, but they are capable of actions that influence our lives, hence the need to seek their intercession with the Almighty God for our protection, success, and well-being in life. The entire purpose was to invite some of the entities that inhabit the world of spirits and divinities to cross temporarily into our own world in order to interact physically with us. The divinities that choose to come to visit us manifest themselves by taking over the body and mind of devotees when such devotees fall into a trance induced by the drum patterns and songs that are peculiar to each divinity. While in a state of trance, the devotee becomes a material incarnation of the divinity, whose speech, character traits, and behavior are reflected in the speech and behavior of the devotee during the period of trance. The ceremony itself began with invocations to the principal divinities. First online is Eshu, God of the Crossroads. In candomblé ceremonies, just as in centuries-old traditional Yoruba religious worship in the Nigerian homeland, no invocation of the gods can properly begin without a preliminary invocation to Eshu, who opens the path to other divinities as well as to the Almighty God, to whose ultimate control both divinities and human beings are subject. In African religious belief, the entire purpose of religious ceremony is to commune with ancestors and divinities and to seek their intercession with the Almighty God. In a sense, the entire ceremony unfolds like a theatrical performance in the course of which various divinities appear in our midst. The gods and goddesses continue to appear among us. They will grace the candomblé with their presence during the ceremony, provided we perform the appropriate rituals. After they have signified their pleasure by greeting members of the congregation and passing on some of the messages they wish to communicate to human beings, they dance to the beat of the drum patterns and songs that honor each of them. One by one, the gods and goddesses whose impending visit had earlier been announced by the Orisa appear. Once a devotee falls into a trance, he or she is led into a secluded room in the candomblé and clothed with the finery and symbols of the divinity that has chosen to manifest its presence by taking possession of the devotee. Eshu, god of the crossroads, playful and mischievous, stern and unforgiving. Some of the gods and goddesses have multiple avatars. For instance, Oshun, the Yoruba river goddess who is known in Brazil as Yansan, has different manifestations with different attributes and costumes. Eshu is simultaneously playful and mischievous, as well as stern and unforgiving. He is relentless in punishing wrongdoers who seek to approach God without first cleansing their minds of evil thoughts. Most of the time, Eshu misleads such insincere people and sends them off in futile directions. Sometimes his punishment is more direct. Wielding a heavy club for which he is famous, Eshu lands heavy blows that crush the skulls of evildoers. When Eshu is approached in the right way by people whose motives for seeking divine intervention are sincere, Eshu reveals himself to be a kind and helpful divinity who helps speed human requests to successful reception by the other divinities as well as to the Supreme Being.